Welcome back to the channel, y'all. So today, as the title of the video stated, I'm going to be pulling all the interior pieces out of the car to get them out of the way, because I'm taking the car to the body shop this afternoon or later today. This is just to simplify it for the body guy. He's going to, speed the process up. Yeah, so there's a lot. Originally I was only going to pull a few things, and then you think about it, and you really end up pulling a whole lot of the interior out when you're going to paint the whole car. So I'm just making a checklist. I don't normally do this, but because there's so many different pieces that have screws and bolts, I'm actually going to be bagging them and leaving them, and that way I don't forget, because it's going to be a few weeks before they get put back in the car. So that being said, moving right into the first one, I'm going to start with the door panels, because, well, they're kind of one of the bigger pieces, aside from the quarter trim. First thing I gotta do is get that out of there. Gonna need a screwdriver. Go ahead and get the door handle trim off. Oops. Alright. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this part, but I'm gonna just take everything apart, get it out of the way. Seems like a lot, but it's really not. This one wasn't threaded in, so oops. And obviously you would have this screw here. My panel is cracked. I'm gonna have to get a new one. I don't think I have one on. I haven't ordered one yet, but I'll get to that. Small screwdriver. I need to clean up the shop. One of these days I'll get to that. Throw those in there. Probably go ahead and throw that in there. I believe oh, 10. Okay. 10. Get thought it was a 10. Maybe it's a 9. Or smaller size. Ah, 3/8. I should have remembered that. was gonna do a lot of this yesterday, but the crop dusters were out in the forest yesterday, and I wouldn't have been able to. You wouldn't have heard a thing except for crop dusters flying. So I'm gonna do with what I got. Okay, let that hang for a second. Oops. And honestly, I'm gonna put those screws back in because they're really not hurting anything having that still connected. If you watched the video I did about all, when I was doing all the door locks and everything, I remember saying that. I don't know why I thought to go ahead and do this again, but okay. Let me set that out the way for a second. Now I need to go get my pick. Let's go ahead and start popping these off. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to move on to actually, we'll just continue on. I was going to move on to the other side door, but some other things real quick. Pull these top panels out, they just pull out. Okay. Pull that out. Probably go ahead and pull this one too here in just a second. You have to pull the speaker, get the A-pillar off, and it's a couple Phillips head screws, which this one's kind of a pain to get to, but it's not really, mine's also not really in there, so. This also means you got to pull this piece, which again is just clipped in, but I'm getting a new windshield, so it needs to come out. So that piece comes out. Get this out the way. My little pops kind of forward. Man, that one just doesn't want to come out of there. So I'm gonna, once I do the passenger side, I'll work from that end. This one's kind of, it's out, but it's not really wanting to flex. So anyway, that pretty much, other than the turn around, get your 4 screws for the kick panel. As you see, some of these are, the holes in the door or in the metal are so shot that they're not really sticking anyway. So let me put all this stuff together in a pile and out of the way, and then I'll move on. Stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the door panels out, all the moldings out. Pretty much from this point forward, I've taken off all I really need to take off. Include the A-pillar trims, the front center trim. Next, I'm going to be pulling the rear seat just so I have easier access back here. I don't need to, but I think it'll make it a lot easier pulling the rear seat out and doing some other things. So I wanted to show you something real quick with that center upper windshield trim, these clips. This one came out fine, the passenger side far one. The driver's side and the center were hooking and pulling, so I basically had to pry them out and then straighten them back up. So just be mindful of that. But all you need to do to pull a seat, real simple. There's a connector under there. Try to see if I can show this connector right here. Just disconnect that, and then it's, you gotta take around each corner. There's a cover that is just held on by a plastic little clip, rivet, whatever. Just pop those out. And then it's 4 15mm nuts holding the seat on. So once you get that out, you can pull the seat out the way. Okay, next I'm going to be removing the seatbelt retainers. So the first thing you got to do, catch that. Boy, that's really hard to catch. So there's a, behind it, you just got to pop that little ridge right there. Pops that off. And move that out the way for now. It should be a Torx bit. It's like every other seatbelt retainer. Yeah, see, it's a Torx bit. I'm gonna go find the right size and I'll be right back. Okay, so it is a, what size? T50. Let me get you a little light on that. But generally, you can't just use an impact on these. They're pretty tight from the fact, you know, when you gotta torque these tight. I mean, after all, it is a seat belt. You know, you don't want it coming loose. Okay. Now this one I won't be putting back on, but you know, when I go to the other side, sat down in here. Go to the other side. I'm gonna be putting this one back on once I get the panel out, because I still have to drive the car to the body shop. So get my little clip off. we'll put that one down there for now. And then next, we'll be moving into taking off each of these panels. I'll probably start with the passenger side first. So let me get set up and I'll be back. All right, so I got another Ziploc. I'm gonna start taking some of these out to give myself room to work. Some of these, there we go. Oh, come on. It's got some of these have washers on them, so you can't really just spin them out by hand. One thing I need to do is go ahead and undo this center back piece. And I'm going to put these in a separate baggie because oh. Okay, so sorry, I don't have a light on this. All right. So, this has 4 screws, and this back lip here hangs on a lip in the center. So let me go put this up real quick. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be able to take a whole lot more out without having to remove the back seat to get it out the way, but I'm going to go as far as I can anyway. This one's going to be tight. Remember the exact. I think I'm going to have to pull the back seat first, but what I can do, go ahead and take some of these out. Just a whole bunch of Phillips head screws. Okay. Yep. That one's supposed to drop. Okay. Alright. 1 second. Alright, so one thing I forgot to mention, on each side there is a Phillips head screw. Both of mine are already broken, so not much I can do about that. But to move forward, I'm going to have to pull the rear seat, so that'll be the next step in the process. Actually, one thing I do need to go ahead and do is remove the lower seat. I couldn't remember the lower seat belt bolt. I forgot that you got to take it out. So I'll be putting that bolt with the other one. They're all the same, so it doesn't really matter that much which one's which. Move your seat out the way. Move over to the other side. There we go. Alright. Now, got all that sound deadening in there, so one thing I can attempt to do, let's get y'all at a better angle. Actually, I'll just do this. So pop this loose. Kind of pops over the lip of the door frame. Slide the seat belt through, get it out the way. But I'm going to have to pull the up, get back in here. So let's pop this off. Well, that's not what you want. I just broke mine, so much for that. What you're gonna do, you get a seat, a bolt, a Torx bolt for the rear seat as well. What you'll do is you'll take the Now I'm going to put that back in because it's exposed to weather, but I'll slide that up and out the way, the hole, that way you can kind of pull on this a little bit more. Really nothing else. I don't think this is necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway just because. I'm going to go ahead and pull these speaker screw holes anyway. Speaker. Speaker just has a little simple connector. Well, of course I say simple, and then it doesn't come out. But you gotta be careful with these old connectors because they all want to snap. That this plastic is really brittle. Okay. So you do need to do that because the speaker itself is bolted to the cover and the wiring harness needs to come out. So get that out the way. And really, there's nothing really holding this together anymore. Up here, it's all in the back. So we're gonna move to the back now and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna actually switch gears a little. I'm gonna need to remove the back panel first. It's just a few Phillips head screws. It would be a lot easier to go ahead and remove the carpet, but I just don't want to, and even though the carpet in this car is not great, I just don't want to leave it out in the shop. So I'm just going to work around it. So it's just there's some other screws. If your car has them, there would be two more underneath down here, but mine doesn't have them. So, and then there's the connector for the light. You got to get out of there. So that piece is out. And obviously I'm missing screws, so like some of this is not going to be totally accurate, but this piece right here, you got your yeah, it's just the one. So go ahead and pull this piece out. And the reason you don't even, if you were pulling these pieces, you wouldn't necessarily have to remove them, but I gotta replace the taillights, so these are coming out anyway. All right. Now I'm gonna move back over to this side. So to show you what I'm talking, what you got to do here, you got this board out the way. Some previous owner thought they'd stabilize the trunk with this. Doesn't really work that well, honestly. Works for about 10 pounds or less, and that's about all it is. But anyway. Now, as you can see, you got 3 more screws down here. You got the 2 for the luggage container. And I already removed these, and then this one. So let's just remove removing a few more screws. And obviously, if you had your cargo net hooked up still, you'd have to remove it, but that goes without saying. Okay. Now you can see it comes loose. It's pretty loose now. Sound ending is falling out. But now it's a matter of finagling, because I don't really want to try to remove the I guess I can pull that all out. I don't really want to remove the seat back if I don't have to. I'm going to try to work on this, and I'll show you how, if I get it figured out. If not, I'll show you how to remove the rear seat. So hang on. Okay, so the seat probably is going to have to come out. I haven't done that. I have actually never pulled a hatch seat before, but get the carpet out first. So that one's actually looks like it's missing, but there should be 2 screws to this, whatever you call it, back here. I guess it's the, the piece that makes it, when you fold the seat over, you still have carpeted area. I don't know what you would call that. I can't tell if that one is in. Yeah, it's in there. Of course, this is some of these screws are wallowed out, so this is going to be fun trying to get them started. And if I have to take the seat out, it's probably not going back in. I'm probably going to do one of those rear seat, those fancy, I can't remember what brand, that rear seat deletes that have like compartments in it and everything. So, let me get you over here. into the carpet too. So. Now, let me fold this up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay. So, I hope you can see this. The sun's kind of glaring, but right here, around all of here, there's basically, see how I just popped that out? There, right? So, let me get all this out the way, and I'll be back. So the seat's coming out. First thing I do is got to get these 11mm bolts out right here. Those here as well. Once you do that, move y'all back here. Make sure I don't fall. And now once that's off, you gotta get there's a third one. There's basically a pin that the seat pivots on right there, and you gotta slide it off of it. But I'm in a little bit of a different situation here because mine's not wanting to slide. But what I will do is go ahead and drop that one. It's really kind of hard because it's kind of dark in there. So let me get them out and then I'll show you where they're mounted. So LMR has a video, and I love their videos, but you know, in their video they talk about there's 3 bolts up here and it drops off and pivots on the snap. But on mine, there's a bolt down here, very narrow headed, and you might, I don't think you could, but basically what I ended up having to do is take a 5/8 wrench and just slowly turn it, and that comes out with it. That washer, it's right there. So once that, let's see, this one was already broken at some point, but that once that popped off, I was able to pop this side of the rear seat off of that bracket, and then it's just got that pinhole right there. So once I was able to pop it off here, I was able to slide it out off of that pin right there. So let me get the other side done and I'll be back. All right, well, still got one more thing to do. I actually already have the passenger side off. I'm going to pop this little clip here, slide that out so I don't break this one, and attempt to slide the seat belt through. Okay. You actually don't necessarily need to remove the speaker panel. I've proved myself wrong because this screw is stripped out. So I was able to reach behind and disconnect the speaker connector from back here. Let me put this out the way real quick and then I'll... So in order to pop this out, you just gotta finagle it, wiggle it a little. Of course, it would probably be even easier if took my time, but you know, that's out. So all I have left to do, really, that fell off somewhere, is hook my driver's side seat belt back up, so it's I can use it, and that's pretty much it. So hang on just a second. So car's pretty much as stripped out as I need it for painting purposes for now. All told, it took me about 2 hours to do all this, and honestly, I haven't done it in well over 10 years, taking an interior out of Fox Body like this. I've never taken the back seats out or the hatch, so I was figuring it out also as I go. But it still only took me about 2 hours, and not a whole lot of special tools, so it's not that bad. Anyway, if you found the video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. This is another one in the books. Stay tuned. There's a big change coming on the car. As like I said, it's going to paint. Got a lot of stuff already here for it, and a lot more coming. So, as always, I'll be back.